So I'm back, and I'm looking pale, but I need this light, so I have to look like Casper, so I could read my notes. So I just finished the second half of Season 2. Here are going to be some of the clues. So we're going to start at episode 13. It starts with, this is a prequel before Allie dies this episode, and Allie says to Emily, two can keep a secret if one is dead. And this obviously is, you know, another, or maybe our first really big clue that she's alive. We see the conspiracy with Jenna and Garrett with the page 5, which resolves itself at the end of the season. The pretty eyes reference. We see that twin story, and one of the girls is sent away. Is that the case with Allie? Someone was talking about Jenna, I think it was Toby, and says Jenna gets what she wants, and Jenna and Allie always had a feud. The A messages start to Allie in this prequel. She said, "What you would be surprised who your friends aren't to Spencer." Allie said this, and she looked right at Arya. Guys are stalking, a guy is stalking Allie at the Halloween store and at the party. Episode 14, we see a Byron versus Ezra showdown. They show Henry James. I looked up his work. He's an author. He wrote Portrait of a Lady. There's treachery, deceit, and struggle in that book. I was trying to show a connection of why they showed that book. Maybe it was just coincidence. They trap A. Arya looks scared, like she doesn't want them to find out who A is. Ezra's rage is similar to A's when that phone is gone. I just drew a connection there. The next episode, Hannah acts very suspicious about her phone, and Garrett said we should have never pulled him into this. I don't know who him was. Maybe Toby. We find out Lucas is involved. We see that the A picture of the dolls matches the wallpaper of the attic wallpaper at Spencer's. And that's that episode when all kinds of stuff goes down with Lucas, and we find out that it's not that he's part of the A-team at that point, but that he lost money gambling or something. Hannah continues to act sketchy in episode 16. The Caleb-Lucas friendship kind of makes sense if you want to believe that Caleb has been a part of the A-team. A starts harassing Maya. Jenna is really good at reading people, they say. Mona starts following Spencer and becomes even more suspicious. We see Lucas in a black hoodie. And we find out that Jenna was out all night the night that Allie died. And episode 17, Caleb pushes for the truth. There's the Toby versus Ren showdown because Toby's in the hospital because of the bolts from the scaffolding fell. And A cuts the couple pictures and gets rid of Toby and Ezra. Makes me start to think that maybe Byron could be Big A. Episode 18, Noel repairs Mona's phone, which is super sketch because we thought Noel was a part of this. Green Peppers Pizza, Arya's favorite. If you remember back at Caleb's birthday party, 20 pizzas came with green peppers, which was like a sabotage for the party. Obviously, Arya. Ezra's drinking scotch. A was in Spencer's dad's office. Episode 19, the bully episode. Noel attacks Arya and looking for Caleb. This is when they have that bully assembly or overnight thing. And A takes Caleb's backpack, puts all those crazy files on them, tries to set him up. Episode 20, Caleb, court ordered to take his laptop. Arya is reading Lolita. I realized afterwards that that was just her trap to prove that she knew she was there for Jonah. And we are wondering where the $15,000 came from Spencer's dad. We find out that he hired a private investigator to investigate Allie's death because actually Spencer's mother was more suspicious that Melissa actually killed Allie. And Caleb says to the cops when they're looking at the laptop, be sure to check out my video selection. They don't know what he's talking about, but they're talking about, you know, Garrett being in the video. Episode 21, Mona starts getting A messages. I remember when I first watched this that I was like, there's no way this girl's just randomly getting messages now. I was always suspicious of her. We see that Melissa was at Allie's in the video. We know Garrett's A part of this, Spencer's at Ren's drunk, and we find out that Ren has very OCD. He says he has to have all of his books in alphabetical order and stuff, and we do discover and find out later on in PLL that A is actually pretty detail-oriented and has everything down to the last detail, and it made me very suspicious of Ren when he started randomly talking about being OCD. That can't just be a random plot thing. They put that there for us. Episode 22, Mike tells Arya to give up on Ezra, which is very strange to me. Maya and Garrett are friends. Mona, it seems even more sketchy. I put, seems she was planted in the group, which we come to find out. Arya pretends to be A to Mrs. Marin. Is that a coincidence? Arya is suspicious when she's at the doll shop. We do know that she loves dolls. And then she goes and gets the red trench coat to wear, which is another funny thing. Paige is strange to me. She's like in and out all the time, and I'm thinking that she might be a part of this. Episode 23, Jenna said about Ren, bet even a lie would sound good in that accent. And I think that was a clue for us too about Ren. Mrs. Montgomery asks Ezra about A, goes to his office, which I think is funny too, considering if he's a part of it. Ezra Byron showdown again. The way they were talking about something about egos, and it made me think, like, were they both involved with Allie? Is that really why they're arguing? Hannah saves Jenna within that fire, and we discover a Rosewood police badge is found in the bushes. And then episode 24, we see a flashback with Allie to Spencer, and she says, "You're getting warmer." Jenna apologizes to the girls. Fakes not having her eyesight. We find out the next episode she actually has it. Fake text messages to Mona. I put, it's obvious now that they're fake. Mona gives Hannah's phones because she's in on 18. That's what I put, because she needs to have access to her. And the doll store, creepy kid, psychic couple after Vivian. We find out later that Abe tipped that kid off to say it was a dark couple. Arya's black, and the dark couple to me might be Ezra and Mona now that I think about it. Arya blackmails her dad, shows her dark side. Melissa warns Spencer. She acts very strange during this episode. Mona was into kissing Caleb, and it was very obvious that she was, and it also was very obvious that she sent that text and not Melissa, because she came up with the plan and she wanted to set up Melissa to look like A, and she does so in the finale, which is the next episode 2. Ezra poster in his room. They cut to it, but while Arya was walking in, they cut to this poster, and it says Lens Arians Laticourier. And it comes to find out that it was in 1918 France aviation company, which was in World War I. And we have that connection of World War I with that gas mask and such. And I don't think it's a coincidence that that poster is in his room. It's not a coincidence, considering the episode that we find out about Ezra in the World War I gas mask is shown in it, and now we're seeing this poster, and it's like a pilot poster, and I don't know. Continue. This, I mean, I'm telling you, the last 2 episodes, there was so much stuff. Jenna returns the autopsy page. They go to the creepy doll shop. We see Ezra drinking that scotch again. Melissa and Garrett are like secretly having an affair. Garrett's arrested. He's the suspect, and Jenna can see was the big reveal at the end of that episode. Unmasked. Finale of season 2, episode 25. Man, you sure can keep a secret, is said to Arya. They go to that Lost Woods resort, and another thing Spencer says to Arya this episode says, "You're little, but you're big." And I was like, oh, maybe little A, but you're big A. A's spying through that hotel room. They're in the room next to what we discover is A's lair, okay? And during this time, Ezra goes away, okay? So it's very suspicious. They seem to find out a lot of things once Ezra isn't around. Jenna gives somebody a scarf or a gun or a blue shirt or something. There's plenty of theories about Arya's costume, so I'm not going to get into that. If you're interested, just Google Arya's unmasked costume or masquerade ball costume, and tons of things will come up about his swan costume, okay? Mona and Spencer find A's lair, okay? She finds Allie's diary and finds a gum wrapper in it, and Mona had just offered her the same gum. She started to show a connection. Mona disappears, comes back. She's in a black hoodie, dark, eye makeup. Ezra and Arya are the only one to unmask in this episode. The Black Swan was set up. Melissa was set up to look like she was A. Lucas and Jenna are talking to her, and I think they're all being blackmailed. Mona stole Spencer's dad's gun. She admitted it. They get in a fight. Mona falls off opponent. Somehow she survives that. This is like another CC incident where these people survive the stuff. Dr. Sullivan's back. She says that Mona threatened her son, so she had to leave. And she says that Mona has a hyper-reality personality disorder where she feels like she's all-knowing and powerful. And when there's a flashback with Mona, she says, oh, these girls think that I'm going to be institutionalized and put on medication and they can go home and leave their doors unlocked and their windows unlocked, but that's what we want. Meaning it's not just Mona, it's a group, okay? That was our first real time that we realized it was a group. Mona gets a visitor, the girl's in a red coat. I don't think a guy would be wearing a red coat. Maybe. And then she just said, I did everything you asked me to. So the girls think that A is done, but rewatching season 2 didn't really help me much. I saw a lot of suspicion of Hannah and Arya. I didn't see as much with Spencer. She always seems to guide where things go. I just don't know who killed Allie. Byron Montgomery. A lot of people are starting to suspect Ashley Marin is a part of this. I don't know. So I think, and when I watch season 3 over again, I think I will get a lot more clues. I'm still not. I'm just more suspicious of certain people. I'm realizing I probably aren't involved. I'm starting to. I'd be really surprised if Melissa actually killed Ellie. The more and more I watch what she said to Spencer about protecting her and such in that one episode, it's kind of coming true in a way that I think she is being blackmailed if she is doing things. So that is the second half of season 2. I don't know if that helped you, maybe to help connect some of the theories that you have. If you have any ideas about any of this, just leave a comment below and I'll talk to you later. Bye.